Sacramento's new city manager, Maraskeshia Smith, is settling in and prioritizing community outreach. She sat down with ABC10's Jay Strubberg to discuss her priorities, the nature of the role, and the controversy over the position's nearly $400,000 salary. She emphasized that public input is vital to her leadership.
You previously served as city manager of Santa Rosa, but Sacramento, much bigger city. How are you adjusting to this new role, and do you plan on approaching this job any differently?
No, actually I don't plan to approach it any differently, because I believe no matter what community you work with or for, it's about the people. So I'm coming into the organization, getting to know the staff, getting to know the community, driving around with the mayor and some of the council members to get to know some of their concerns and some of the good things that are going on in their community. But I think no matter what community you work for, it's about the people.
You are the first black woman to hold this position. What does that mean to you?
Well, what I will tell you is I've been the first in many of my positions. Sometimes when you lead with that narrative, people believe that it starts out with a negative narrative and that you're here to serve a subset of the population. I will first say that I'm here to serve everyone. And on top of that, I will say that what's important for me is that no matter what you look like, you can become anything that you want. I think a lot of people, when you see that it's the first, it's because people haven't been exposed to either the career, or maybe they're afraid to step into it, right? I just so happen to be exposed to city management. But before I was exposed to it, I didn't know that the government had a CEO. And when I found out that the government had a CEO, you know, it was intriguing. And mainly because what I found out at that point is that that person in the community and everyone who serves in city government is able to make change and able to effectuate change almost immediately. And that was really important to me because I want to be the change and I want to make the change, and I want people to love where they live, where they work, and where they recreate.
Let's talk a little bit about what you'll be doing with the job itself. Sacramento has what's known as a weak mayor system, so the day-to-day operations of the city fall under your supervision. So explain to our viewers who may not be aware of all this, how your role differs from the mayor and what your priorities are at the start of the year. Yeah,
so that's a very good question. A lot of people don't know. So in a city manager form of government, the city manager is just the executor. They're the CEO of the city. And mayor and council, they set policy. So they set policy, and in turn, what I do is operationalize their policy. So I'm the manager of the assets, the finances, the people, the equipment, and we just operationalize, you know, their agenda. And mainly that agenda comes from their constituents, their voters, the community, and the business owners.
I do want to bring up one source of controversy. There's been some talk about your pay. You're making $399,000 a year. What is your message to critics out there who say that that's too much money for this position?
Government employees often, we get criticized for our pay, but we are the executor. We are the CEO, we're the stewards. It's a 6,000 employee organization. You know, I asked myself, would you ask the IBM president that? Would you ask Apple that? I hope that I can show our constituents that I believe in good stewardship of our finances, and hopefully that, you know, narrative continues to fade.
When you worked as city manager for Santa Rosa, there was a budget issue that came up and you offered to freeze your salary. If there was a similar budget issue or crisis here in Sacramento where there was a major deficit, would you be willing to consider taking another look or reevaluating your contract?
I certainly would. I think you know, you asked the question before, all too often we do get criticized for our pay, but this city is most important to me, and I want to make certain that we create a sustainable organization. When you talk about how much it costs to build housing, I think we can't take our foot off the gas on some policies. I think, this last round they talked about CEQA. We have SB 35. We have to continue to implement and create policies that allow us to move housing forward faster. I think if we can continue to do that, we will make a determination on, is it, do our costs get lower? But I think as a collective, we all have to put our minds together and figure out how we get there. It's exhausting. When you look at the individuals who can't achieve the American dream here in California, when you look at people who may have to leave California, or people who may have to retire in other locations because of the cost of living, I hope we can continue to keep our sights set on maybe policies, bringing in what I call head of household income jobs, because you have a lot of people who are working 2 or 3 jobs just to meet that one head of household income. So if we can continue to draw in companies who allow head of household income jobs, and we can continue to work with some of our state partners to reduce the cost of housing, to curate policies that allow housing to be built faster. So
I think you're touching on a little bit of this right now, but you recently said your vision is to create an environment where every resident, business owner, and volunteer feels seen, heard, and valued. What does that look like on a practical level to you?
So what I hope to do, it's one of me, 500,000 people here. I hope I find ways to make myself available to the community. I want to hear from the community. What I tell people is sometimes people have given up on government, right? You don't either hear the good, you don't hear the bad, but you want to hear the bad, because when you hear the bad, then people feel like they have a voice. And I want people to have a voice. This is your community. This is your home. I've tried to ask the council members, hey, if you're having a meeting, let me know. I will pop in. As we do ride-alongs, if there are community members we can talk to on the way, I want to hear from the community. And I think sometimes they feel like, well, no one's listening. And we have to find effective ways for feedback. Sometimes, we'll listen to individuals, but what's our loop on feedback? How are we following back up with the community? And are we doing what we say we're going to do? So that's really important to me.
I want to end on a lighter note. You're new to the city. What do you like to do for fun? Any go-to restaurants?
So I'm still working on the restaurants. I will tell you, I have found all of the sweet spots. Okay. So Estelle's, I heard there's food at Estelle's, but I found all the sweets at Estelle's. Vic's. And then today I found Gunther's.
So ice cream.
Ice cream, yes. I love ice cream.
And we know you're a pickleball player as well.
Actually, I'm a golfer, and I just decided to jump into pickleball. And as you see, it didn't work out so well for me.
Recovering. You're kind of like the 49ers. You're recovering from injury here.
And recovering, yes. Yeah.
City Manager Maraskeshia Smith, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.